All right, who is it?
It's Robert Castillo. This is on the motions.
Oh, yeah,
It's okay.
okay.
No worries. And this is the one, Judge, we had talked about getting pretrial services on the horn because they didn't understand your order about his working versus needing to be home for other purposes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And are you all, do y'all have any agreement on any of the motions or no?
I think so.
All right, do y'all wanna,
There's just one order where I objected the language, Judge.
okay. Oh, well, that's gonna be very simple. Okay. Now I jinxed it by saying that's gonna be simple and quick. I know, I forgot. Yeah. Last minute, please. Mhm. But Deputy Laura, we will not be here tomorrow. Because it's Friday Eve. Oh, it is. Look at me saving you from trick-or-treaters. Who is Lauren Ricketts? All right, David McLean. Miss Ricketts is here, Officer Ricketts. So on your guy, we'll find out what the issue is with the pretrial services.
Okay.
And your guy is Robert Castillo?
It is Robert Castillo. You want him up here, Judge?
Just a minute, she's connecting to audio.
No problem.
Oh, no, you can remain. She's just connecting to. Miss Ricketts, Officer Ricketts, can you hear us?
We planned.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, on my computer, the settings are, I have no idea. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Can I have that document I just printed, please? All right, so the first thing we need to address, have your client come up.
Let's consider come on up.
All right, the first issue we have is, you say there's an issue with pretrial?
Correct. From my understanding from speaking with my client, when we were here last, we modified his bond conditions because he had gotten new employment that was going to require him to work one of three shifts, so it could possibly go 24/7.
Mhm.
The original condition of his bond, he has GPS. He's had it since the beginning, no violations, and he's trying to keep it that way. But there's a condition where he has to be home between the hours of midnight and 3 a.m.
Yeah, 3 hours.
All
It's
right, so Officer Ricketts, he needs to be home by the curfew that's stated. The only exception to him, to his being home by that time is if he's at work. So if
Yes.
he's at work, he can be at work. But
Yes,
if he's
correct.
not at work, that's his curfew.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Mr. Castillo and we discussed it, and I told him about that, that was fine. He was able to work whatever hours that he needed to work, and that as long as he wasn't able to do any extra duties between the hours of those 3 hours of curfew, that he was only allowed to work during that time.
All right, so that's cleared up.
I think it's all cleared up.
All right, thank you so much.
Just want to make sure we're in compliance, Judge.
All right, thank you so much, Officer Ricketts, for zooming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, officer.
No
Appreciate you.
problem.
All right, thank you. All right, and the next thing we have are motions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2023 CR 8866 State versus Robert Castillo. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Tony Arriola, for the state of Texas.
David McLean for the defense.
And are you Mr. Castillo?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So let's go through your motions. The first one is to have the court reporter make a record. I'm assuming there are no objections to that,
No objections.
Thank you, Judge.
so that will be granted. Next one is motion for discovery and inspection. All right, so we'll go through the numbers. So number one, any statement by any party or witness.
No objections.
So one is granted. Number two, any objections?
See one.
Oh, well, number two has to do with if there was some testimony given to the grand jury.
No objections.
Number three is all the names and addresses of individual witnesses the state intends to call.
No objections.
All names of witnesses that you're going to call during the sentencing phase.
No objections.
If applicable, the name of any confidential informants,
No objections.
names, rank, and badge numbers of all police officers,
No objections.
all documents, manuals, or other tangible things the state or any witnesses intend to introduce, rely on, or refer in testimony.
No objections. With this one, I did object to the proposed order on passing this motion.
Yes, Judge, and I think Antonio and I talked about this. There are, I believe, three things in the motion that he was talking about. The first goes to that second paragraph where it says it's further ordered that any evidence within the scope of the items granted above be provided by the state to defendant's attorney at his office, my address, on or before 5 p.m. 20 days prior to the next trial setting after the signing of this order. I think that what we're trying to track here is the 3914 language, but at the same time, the state's attorney is arguing, why don't we just have 3914 or say in accordance with 3914 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure? Frankly, I don't really have an objection to that.
All right.
So if we could change that language, I don't know if we would just want to interlineate or if you want me to draft another order. However, the
Do
court,
y'all want me to then just to remove it as ordered? And just place, you all can write in that you will abide by the rules.
That's fair.
that's fair, Judge.
Okay. So if you want to just scratch through and then I will sign
Do
it.
that. Judge, the last language that we are talking about here on this order talks about that if any of the ordered items are not produced in violation of this order, that they shall be excluded from evidence in this case offered by the state.
Well, that's really for me to make a decision.
And that's why we're trying to get that decision now. And the reason we're doing that is because, as the court knows, everybody has to prep up for trial, get everything ready to go. And you get to the day of trial and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we've got this brand new expert that we didn't disclose.
No, here's the thing. I don't know if there will be something new. So just for me to blanketly say that I'm going to exclude the evidence, I don't know. It may end up being one sheet of paper or something. And what if it's a paragraph? Maybe I'll exclude it, maybe not. I don't know. I have to know what it is.
My purpose of doing this is more akin to the civil rules, honestly.
Mhm.
In that if it's not produced, you can't use it.
Mhm.
I know that's not exactly how the criminal courts are interpreting 3914. They're actually imposing on the prejudiced party to have to move for a continuance. That has been pretty much the rulings that I've been seeing.
No,
in the
that's
appeals.
not what I do.
Okay,
So here's the thing. I'm not going to blanketly say that I'm going to exclude evidence. We'll just take it up if that were to happen.
okay, Judge. Let's just interlineate that paragraph, scratch
Okay.
that out, and then I think we're good.
All right. And the next paragraph has to do with the viewing and visual inspection. Are there any objections to any of that?
With this one, Judge, I think we've been doing that up until today.
Mhm.
My only concern is the 10-day deadline. I don't want to agree with it if it's not reasonable for any of my witnesses or law enforcement witnesses.
All right, with the 10 days, counsel?
We can see if I can, way we can recraft this.
Do you want to say, let's do this, if you are in agreement, counsel, we'll just say during normal business hours at a mutually agreeable time. And if y'all can't agree on a time, then you all come to me.
Sounds good. We'll just scratch that 10-day language.
Okay. The next one we have is motion for discovery of exculpatory evidence. I'm assuming there's no objection.
No objections, Judge.
Then we have another motion for discovery with regards to witnesses. All names and witnesses state intends to call at trial.
No objection.
Is that this motion, Judge?
Yes.
Right. Perfect. Okay.
All right, number 2.
Is this motion for witness list?
This is this one. Are you in agreement with number 2?
I agree with number 2.
Number 3?
Yes,
Number 4?
state agrees.
Number 5?
State agrees.
Number 6?
State agrees.
7?
Agreed.
8? All right, statements. B.
The state agrees with all 8 requests.
Okay. C, with regards to warrants.
State agrees.
D, with regards to law enforcement.
State agrees with all 6.
Photographic evidence.
State agrees with all 4.
F, physical evidence.
State agrees with all 5 requests.
All right, G, test.
State agrees to both requests.
H, states evidence.
State agrees to all 5 of his requests.
And I'm assuming 1 through 37 is just what is within the body of the motion.
That's correct, Judge.
All right, next, the motion in limine. You all will need to approach. I won't know anything about the motion in limine unless you approach.
We'll hold that a bit.
Okay. And then motion to limit state's jury argument. All right. State's jury arguments. State.
I reviewed the motion, Judge. No objection.
All right. Then that will be granted. And that's numbers 1 through 11. Is that correct, State?
Yes, Judge.
And if for any reason anyone thinks they're veering into something that's in the limitation of the jury argument, just approach beforehand.
Will do, Judge.
Then we have the motion for the witness list. I think this was sort of covered. Is that correct?
It's sort of covered. This one, when we initially filed our 3914 notice, we included a witness list. Subsequent holdings by some of the courts of appeals have come back and said, no, witness list isn't included in 3914. So that's when I filed kind of my subsequent motion for the witness list. But yes, I think it's probably redundant given some of the motions we've already heard.
All right. Any objection to the defense's motion?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that will be granted. All right, then we have a motion for production of witness statements and writings used to refresh recollections. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that will be granted. Then we have evidence favorable to the accused. I'm assuming there's no objection.
No objection.
Then we have 4B. That's no need for me to make a ruling on that. You'll
Right.
just need to turn it over if you have it. All right, and then you have assertion of the defendant's rights under 6th, 14th Amendment.
Basically, a speedy trial motion, Judge.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted you to put it on the record.
Not a problem.
All right. So what we will do with regards to that motion, we'll give you a trial as quickly as we can. There are other people who are ahead of you on the jury trial list. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, Judge.
All right. So, Ms. Ferguson, what date for jury trial? And counsel, do you have all of the discovery?
Judge, Tony and I were talking about that earlier today. We do not have any kind of expert reports or designations. Some of the evidence in this case, I think, would require that, but
I will tell you this, what I can do is I can give you all a reset in November.
Okay.
To make sure that you have all the evidence, and at this time, you all will need to do an acknowledgement of discovery.
can do,
So,
Judge.
let's do this. Ms. Ferguson, can you put us for our last day in November? All right, so what we'll do is we'll recall this for November 21st. And that will be the final day for discovery, and you all will need to do an acknowledgement of discovery.
Thank you.
All right, and that will also be the last day if you all are going to enter a plea, okay?
Okay, Judge. All righty, we can do that.
All right, thank you.
Judge, thank you. Appreciate
You're
your time.
welcome. Jeffrey Schobel. Are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
Yes, sir.
Court is calling 2023 CR 5765, State of Texas versus Jeffrey Schobel. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Garrett here, Your Honor.
defense?
Jonathan Ross for the defense, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Schobel?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the documents entitled motion to revoke community supervision and state's motion to supplement pending motion to revoke community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Jeffrey Scott Schobel who was placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 5765 for the offense of theft $2,500 to $30,000 on September 5th, 2023 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, violated condition number 4 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Jeffrey Scott Schobel did it in there and failed to report the supervision officer as directed on September 12th, 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated conditions.
Any objection? Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, $10,000, no, $500 fine,
Yes, ma'am.
because it's not deferred. Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor, is to revoke the individual office community supervision, reform the underlying sentence of 2 years down to 1 year in the state jail facility.
Is
That
that
is
the
the
agreement?
agreed recommendation, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the court to follow this agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 4 true. The court will grant the motion, sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, and give you credit for any time served. All right, we can go off the record. Why were you not successful?
I got back on the drugs now.
Well, what I'll do is I'll request that you be placed in the therapeutic community, it won't increase the time that you're in custody. So I'm sentencing you to a year. That's the most you'll be in custody, a year.
Your Honor, we actually have over a year. I was gonna just say for the, well,
Well, here's the problem with that.
we're not on the record right now. Yeah.
No. Here's the other problem with that. I can say judgment satisfied, all I want to say. What will end up happening is he's going to be processed at the state jail facility.
Yes, ma'am.
They're still going to pick him up.
Yep.
You understand? So you want your life together, you better start making some changes. When you're released, if you can't find a place to go, you can always come back to court, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Oh, and for the record, Your Honor, I have printouts of his time in Comal County and Guadalupe County Jail while the MTR warrant was pending. So,
All right, if you'll make sure the clerks receive that.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Who's here on Genevieve Castaneda? This is deferred adjudication. Oh, it's just regular probation? All right, court is calling 2023 CR 1428, State versus Genevieve Castaneda. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Antonio Adriana.
Defense?
Jerry Rutledge Jr.
And are you Miss Castaneda?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened with your eye?
I was in my bunk and there's another inmate. She was trying to get out of the unit for whatever issue she had. And she just,
All right. Did you understand you're charged with injury to an elderly person, bodily injury? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State recommends community supervision. They are taking in consideration 738109. 2024 CC. I don't have a number. It's been scratched through. Or is it, I'm sorry, you know what? I think it's 2024 CC 738109. That's what's being taken in consideration.
Yes, Judge.
There's to be restitution, if any, to Anna Cardova, or is this Cardona?
Cordona, good.
Donna?
Cordona.
All right, Cardona and Daniel Cardona. Oh, it's,
Corona, good.
all right. All right, restitution, if any, to Anna Corona and Daniel Corona. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community supervision, no contact with the following people: Anna Corona, Corona, Daniel Corona, Stephanie, spelled with a PH, Quach, Xavier McCoy, Andy Viet Pham, Catalina Garcia, Nevea Cruz Quintanilla, and Joe's Crab Shack. And it says at 12485 IH10. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Defendant does not deny that what the allegations took place. Evidently, there was an altercation between Mr. Corona and the grandson. That's her boyfriend. And evidently both individuals pulled knives on each other, and then Ms. Corona tried to come in and assist either the grandfather or the step in between. Genevieve intervened by pushing Ms. Corona. She has been working, Judge, as a server at Denny's at Levra and 410, but since she's been incarcerated, she has lost her job, Judge.
All right. So why would you think that your boyfriend would want you putting your hands on his grandmother?
She put out a gun on me and I didn't get in the way. I was sitting in the car.
No, there's none of that in the stipulations. That does, what they say is there was a fight because Frank, who has prior felony history and was on parole, that he wanted to speak to Jenny because Jenny got in an argument. So Frank thought he wanted to talk to him, but he was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to her. And then a fight breaks out. And supposedly Frank, your boyfriend, was on top of the grandfather. So the grandmother was trying to pull Frank off of his grandfather. And then you pulled her. She fell backwards and hit her head. And they said she was unresponsive for approximately 10 seconds until she finally came to. So basically, you came from the blind side to pull a grandmother off of her grandson. Why would you do that? Why would you think that Frank would want you to do this?
I didn't touch her.
Yeah.
I was pulling Frank up so that we could leave.
Yeah.
She did pull a gun out.
How old are you?
I'm 21 now,
All right. And how old is Frank?
22.
All right. Why would you be with him and he's on parole?
No.
Are you on parole?
No, ma'am.
Then why would you hang your start as somebody who's on parole who got you involved in this?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am, I don't.
All right. Well, I'm going to help you with your relationship with Frank because that relationship is over. You're not allowed to have any contact with him. You understand? So while you're on probation, you cannot have contact with him. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a place to live?
I do.
Who do you live with?
Well, I lost my apartment. I had an apartment, but since I've been in Purr County, I've been speaking with my sister, and she said it was okay for me to go there.
Does she have children?
She does, yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
I believe one is like 11 months and the other one is 2.
Yeah, you can't stay with her. So I'm not going to allow you with your violent history to be around little children. So that's not going to happen. So do you have somewhere else to stay? And who would that be with?
My other sister.
Does she have
Natalie.
children? All right, so I'm telling you right now, probation is going to do field visits. And if they come to a location and they're going to be surprise field visits and there are children there, that's going to be a violation of the conditions I'm going to set for your probation. You understand? How far did you go in school?
I graduated.
And what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I was supposed to start school back for cosmetology.
Okay. Well, what I can tell you, anything that requires a license, they do background checks, and this is going to come up. You understand? All right. Do you have children?
I don't.
Okay. You're not ready for them yet. All right, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's a $2,000 fine that will be probated. Take in consideration 2024 CC 78109. Restitution, if any, to Anna and Daniel Corona. There's to be no contact with the following: Frank Corona, Anna Corona, Daniel Corona, Stephanie, last name Quach, Xavier McCoy, Andy, last name Viet, Pha, is this RM? Pharm, Catalina Garcia, Nevea, and it's spelled heaven backwards, Cruz Quintanilla, and you're not to have any contact with any Joe's Crab Shack. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Anger management. TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow Rex. 200 hours of community service restitution. I'll deem the community service hours satisfied if she obtains some sort of trade school certificate or if she obtains her cosmetologist license. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. Field visits, 1 time per month for 6 months. And there's to be no residing with minors and no unsupervised contact with minors. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need to be successful? We can go off the record. Here's the thing, when somebody falls and hits their head, no matter what age they are, that could result in death. You understand? And we could have easily been here on a murder. You understand? Now you're telling me that you got beat up unsuspectingly by someone in your bunk, the same way you were attacked unexpectedly. The complainant in this case, she wasn't expecting that either from you. So now you know how it feels. So you need to go through life and be kind to people and don't react to situations. You never should have been with Frank because Frank, it appears that he doesn't want to change his life. You don't have any parole issues. He does. You need to cut him loose. You understand? And work on yourself, work on your anger management. All you had to do that night, if something was going down, you could have left and called the police. You hear? All right. If you need anything, let probation know. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. Okay? Thank you. You have a dismissal?
Yes,